People call them a multi-droid.
This is day 2 of roommate maxing, and today
Let's review the above changes and make sure that there's no errors and no missed spots, and then explain specifically number 3 how that works, and yeah, explain that.
Third Reich. One of the most pressing issues was the division of the Kriegsmarine, the German Navy. Despite heavy losses, Germany still had hundreds of submarines, destroyers, and unfinished aircraft carriers. These ships could instantly turn any country into a powerful maritime power. Winston Churchill, as former First Lord of the Admiralty, understood perfectly well the significance of these trophies. Britain had held the title of Mistress of the Seas for centuries, and strengthening the Soviet fleet with German technology was not part of London's plans. The official British position was adamant: the German fleet must be destroyed. Churchill argued that German ships were instruments of aggression that had no place in a new peaceful society. At the Potsdam Conference, the British delegation persistently promoted the idea of sinking most of the German ships. Churchill appealed to the historical precedent of 1919, when the Germans themselves sank their fleet at Scapa Flow. He tried to convince the Allies that dividing up the ships would only lead to an arms race. The atmosphere was tense. U.S. President Truman was initially hesitant, and the Soviet delegation remained silent. The Soviet Union, whose fleet had suffered enormous losses in the defense of Sevastopol and Leningrad, needed these ships. Stalin knew that Churchill's proposals were motivated solely by a desire to maintain British dominance in the ocean. The British Prime Minister hoped that the USSR would yield under the pressure of Allied etiquette. During the next round of negotiations, Churchill stated bluntly that it would be better to sink the Kriegsmarine ships than to divide them among the countries. The entire room fell silent, waiting for the Soviet leader's reaction. According to the published minutes of the Potsdam Conference, Stalin calmly listened to the translation, slowly lit his pipe, and looked directly at the British Prime Minister. His response was short, pragmatic, and left no room for further discussion. This phrase reflected his determination to take what was rightfully his country's due as the victor. Let's divide the fleet first, and if you want, you can sink your share. What was Stalin's response to Churchill?
On the Macintosh team now.
What's a Macintosh?
Andy Hertzfeld, are you good? I only want good people working on Macintosh, and I'm not sure if you're good enough.
Excuse me?
Bill Atkinson says that you're good.
Yes, I think I'm pretty good.
Are you creative?
I think so.
Welcome to the Macintosh team.
I want my own engineering team.
You can pick them yourself.
And I am done working under the gun of your ridiculous deadline bullshit.
You might as well be asked for a date with her.
I want that too. Serious, Steve.
So what is this, Steve? Some sort of performance review?
You're
trying to
work with
recruit me
me
for
on
the
the
Mac
Mac
team, aren't you? Okay, I'm in.
Gotta have a problem that you want to solve. And it's gotta be something that you're passionate about. We have an opportunity to build a revolutionary machine. And in your life, you only get to do so many things. And right now, we've chosen to do this. So let's make it great.
It's insanely great.
Take a look at it.
What's going on? What are you doing?
Check the previous plans, and let's look for this plan where we're supposed to build new agents. So we did some light research on this, but we need to make a set of typical templates. So we have existing templates. We need to expand them to at least 24 of typical startup tech professional roles, and roles in for content creators in the creator economy for YouTubers and things like that. So we have to create these templates with a system prompt, which is a soul.md file, which should be very clear, succinct, and get to the essence of what their purpose is and what their role is. So let's review this and plan this and see how we, and the cards on the agent creator flow, they need to be smaller so that we can fit more, and only have the name and the icon, and have so we want to have at least 30 to 48 of these agents, and they should be general AI. They should be general, very specific startup roles. we were supposed to implement a way to view the deployment logs and have a new deployment logs section in the /admin page so that we can see the logs and errors from deployments when we are deploying a new agent. So let's search for the codebase for that where we left off, and let's review that. So we have to, for every deployment on augmi and on the server side, we have to log all the logs and then all the errors. So on the admin page, we have to see on the side panel the deployment logs where we see a table, and on each deployment you can click on it and it will go to a new detail page. The detail page will see all the logs in chronological order with all the details that are available, and they include the user email and user ID. Let's research for this error and see what the error, see where it's coming from, and let's make a plan on how we can fix this. Perhaps there's the SQL query not update migration that wasn't completed. Let's look into this. We also have these errors. Let's fix the following errors and research how to fix them. They may be old, and maybe we have fixed them already.
Yep.
So on the admin infrastructure page, we want to be able to sort by default, when it was last deployed, and all the columns should be sortable, and we should have a search feature where we can do a fuzzy search across all the fields. So let's implement that. I am seeing this error. Let's research and fix it. need to add this this skill to our local Claude code. We used to have this, but somehow it got removed. So make sure we can use this deep research skill. Let's copy it to our local skills folder. I'm seeing when I create a new agent and I connect to the dashboard, so it shows that it's offline. Also, the Telegram does not connect. So let's find out what's happening. Let's look at the machine logs, and the deployment flow, and also we should be logging the deployment logs and errors into a new Supabase database that can be visible on the /admin page. maybe so let's investigate this further. Which one it is? Maybe they are. If I delete an agent and if it's still kind of if it was connected to a bot, it should stop the connection or like. So let's look for these orphan processes. So we need graceful Telegram shutdown. So let's look into all these scenarios. Verification needed. Confirm which scenario. Check if there are multiple running machines for agent. Let's make the DB query to confirm this, verify this. Yes, you can find and destroy the orphan machines for this specific agent. And also, let's just do one. Plan one. Happy Valentine's Day. It doesn't the deep research skill doesn't appear when I try to invoke it. So help me invoke it. topic of how to best use openclaw for coding and agents for coding as a new perspective, and then create a blog post for this.
And I remember this one day was a really good day. In the morning, we visited Apple. It was like a year after the iPod came out, and it was on fire. And I remember Steve walked into the auditorium, it was about 100 of us, and he was in a bad mood, and it was pretty intimidating. And I remember he looked out, and he basically was like, "What are you people doing here for business school?" Like, he wasn't into the whole business school thing. And one of my classmates, JP Gorski, raised his hand up high, and he said, "We're here from Sloan School of Management, and we're studying innovation, disruption, and we thought we'd learn from the best." And Steve just melted. He liked that a lot. And then he talked about how we came up with the iPod. Kernels of this very much made it into the way we thought about HubSpot. And the iPod, the way he described, was really simple. There were MP3 players before, but you had to be a real geek to use one. And very few people were buying them, and you had to burn music to them. It's a pain in the neck to do it. And he said, "I really wanted something simple. So I wanted to take an MP3 player, build a freemium app, iTunes, and then work with the record companies, enable you to download a song for 99 cents a song." And he said, "That's a 1 + 1 + 1 = 10 for the consumer." And I remember this one day was a really
So this skill is still not invocable. Let's put it in the correct place. We need to put it in the local folder to make sure that the local deep research is not replacing it, because it's got the same name. So let's fix this. Yes, let's first run the innovation skill on this. Create a business agent that will study competition like. Now let's research for the best way to orchestrate Cloud Code instances with openclaw, and how to what's the best library for doing this. Focus on writing the blog post and getting the images.
The components, sensors, actuators, stepper motors. So everything will be plug and play, like that's the goal. Exactly, but we need to make it fully seamless. Yes, it should be emoji, name, and one line tagline. Yes, we want to search and filter. Yes, SolMD should be editable during the onboarding. Yeah, we want to store the SolMD in the template object. Yeah, let's make unique emojis.
So on the agent page, we see the button for My Organizations. That should take us to another view where we organize all the same agents by organizations, and then you can click to create a new organization and then add agents to it, or you can create a new organization and then add existing agents, and so that each agent can belong to an organization or can it be free without an organization. And on the default dashboard page, we just see all the agents. But we want to organize them such that they belong to an organization, and the organization has a common name and kind of a description field that can be like a longer one page or multiple page kind of system prompt where it's like the purpose of it is described. So that right now this is just an organizational structure, but let's let's research this and put this in the roadmap folder. All right, let's implement this and also just destroy that orphan project using the machine ID so that you can run the command. All right, let's execute this plan. Alright, I'm gonna take a break. Peace out. Alright, I'll be back later.